大家好，
大家好，
我是 Ari，
我是 Jay。
So today we're going to talk about what things you can't really ask an American.
And in China,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook another Chinese food for Ari. Ari 买了2袋大米。Ari 在亚洲超市买了这一袋的米，花了15美元，只有4.45千克。他跑去这个沃尔玛买到这个9千克的这一大袋，也只要15美元。所以在美国，沃尔玛要比这个亚洲超市便宜很多。等会儿我跟 Ari 准备做一个豆腐，然后再做一个手撕鸡肉和一个汤。4个鸡大腿才4.37美元，这个在美国还是比较便宜的。点个蜡烛，鸡腿用叉子炸一些盐，盐焗鸡粉，再来一点点花生油，然后用小手给它抓匀。好，把这个鸡放进这个蒸锅里蒸一下。
Yay, less oil.
Less oil. 阿瑞帮我切这个配料。很多人说阿瑞不做饭，经常看我做，其实不是，阿瑞经常做饭。然后我从学校回来吃。好了，阿瑞帮我准备好了这个配料。OK， 煮一点米饭。现在准备做豆腐。阿瑞非常喜欢吃豆腐，我也非常喜欢吃豆腐。豆腐给它切大块一点。
It's been 2 years of seeing you use tofu. Tofu.
Tofu is so cute.
And it's still cute. How do you say anniversary?
结婚纪念日。再过2天就是星期天，就是我们2周年的结婚纪念日。We've done a lot.
Yeah, we lived during a pandemic. We had a small COVID wedding.
Yes.
We traveled all over the West, Utah, almost 2 years now in a new state. Yeah, and we started doing these videos all in 2 years, so it's been a lot.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah. So very cute, my little tofu. So very cute in the snow. We're having a little snow party.
Snow party.
Actually, it was snowing today.
Yeah, outside is snowing.
Randomly. But shame on the snow. It didn't come early enough for you to have a snow day. All the school kids are so disappointed.
Yeah, they are. 现在我来调一个酱汁，然后做那个豆腐用。2勺生抽，切一点蚝油，蒜，小米辣，1勺盐，1勺糖，
糖，
再来一点点清水。这个豆腐就做好了。好吃。
Wow. Wow. Okay, if someone's against tofu, I would really recommend them to try this.
看一下这个鸡肉，用筷子戳一下，好了。然后这个鸡蒸好了之后呢，我再给这个鸡调一个酱汁，酱油，然后你用手把这个鸡肉给它撕下来，打2勺这个蒸鸡的这个汤进来，然后再把这个料汁倒进去。
That's nice. Oh yes. Look at this goodness. Zucchini soup. Never had that. Never had any of this really.
每天晚上最享受的时候就是一起做饭，然后一起吃饭，都是一些比较家常的菜。
I love it.
Fried chicken. 好吃吗？
Wow. The sauce was more simple this time, but it's still like so good. Before I met you, I never had a cold chicken dish in my life. Chicken was always supposed to be hot. But this is so good. I see why it is supposed to be cold, and it's really good.
Wow. This is great.
是吗? This chicken is so juicy. Alright, so today we want to talk to you guys about some things that you really can't talk about in America. And one of these things Jay learned the hard way, right?
Yeah, I made a mistake. I talked with a guy and I asked a guy how much does he weigh.
And it got so awkward.
He was like, why are you asking that question?
Like really shocked. And he's a super nice guy, but nobody expects to be asked that in America. That's considered really rude.
What things that you are not supposed to ask in America?
Definitely never ask how much someone weighs. And usually you don't directly ask someone how old they are if they're not a little kid. If you're like still in high school, you can say, oh, how old are you? But once you become an adult, especially women, you cannot ask how old someone is just like right off the bat when you meet them.
So weight, age, what else? Salary?
Salary, yeah. If you work with someone or even if you don't work with them, even my close friends, I still wouldn't ask them how much do you earn.
Okay.
I would wait for them to tell me if they want to share that information, but I would never ask them, oh, how much do you make? Another thing is, did you gain weight? You can't ask people if you gained weight. Even for my closest friend, I would never ever tell her that it looked like you gained weight. We've changed the language that you're supposed to care about people's health. Rather than telling someone you're already doing a bad job, you can just ask them like, oh, hey, I care about you. What does your health look like these days?
Yeah. After I married Ari, I noticed that Ari was very good at communication. She knows what you should say, what you shouldn't say. I mean, sometimes I made a mistake when I lived in America. When I talked with my colleagues and my friends, I didn't know which question I should ask.
Do you know usually how I learned these things though?
No.
It's from making mistakes.
Yeah, that's right.
So sometimes you learn the hard way.
But in China, we also have something that we are not supposed to ask. I remember my American students told me that they were adopted and also they had divorced parents. They had a stepmom and stepdad. These things are not usual in China. When I grew up, I barely heard my neighbors talk about that, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it's just considered your family history, so you feel usually open to share that.
You know, I respect each culture, so.
One thing though that we talked about that is opposite is in America, it's very common to ask someone how tall you are. I mean, I'm constantly asked how tall I am. Everyone's like, oh, do you play basketball? I'm like, no, I was a dancer. It's just very normal.
Yeah, but in China, if you ask someone how tall you are, especially you already know that they are not very tall. You're not supposed to ask.
I see. I don't think there's too much like embarrassment for being shorter in America. I think people usually don't mind. Like, you might have your own personal insecurity, but as a culture, we don't really look down on like shortness.
We really care about height, I want to say. Like a lot of girls and boys, they wanted to find taller guys or taller girls.
Yeah.
We have a standard, like if you want to find a boyfriend, they have to meet like 180 centimeters, which is like 5'11". You know.
I mean, we also have that idealistic thing. Many girls would want a tall guy also in America. But for a lot of people, it's not a make or break. You actually will find many couples that the guy is a little shorter or they're exactly the same height. And I think part of that is also because sometimes European girls are like taller.
Yeah.
With the blend of cultures here.
Okay, so This is a little bit cultural things that we want to share with you guys. Every country has different cultures, so when we talk about something, we need to consider other people's feeling. That's very important.
Right, and this is just from our experience, you know, where you are living in your city. It may be very different than these things that we've experienced in our lives. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed seeing this amazing food. We hope you guys can make some of it at home as well. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. 再见。
再见，拜拜。